So we chose the eyewear industry. Basically, the eyewear industry is everyone that sells eyeglasses, contact lenses, sunglasses, safety eyewear, and optical accessories. Very wide array of products. There's a lot of strategic groups within this industry. Those include non-prescription eyewear, contact lenses, prescription glasses, other optical goods, and eye examinations. A lot of firms offer a few of these services at their locations. A lot of firms offer retail and online services. The industry as a whole is worth 11.3 billion in revenue, projected annual growth of 2.1% through 2026. 600 million in profit this year, went up 18.2% in 2021. That was largely due to the recovery from the pandemic. They operate at about a 5.3% profit margin and employ about 83,000 people. And that's projected to grow about 1.4% through 2026. So why did we choose eyewear? For one, fast fashion trends, which are basically, especially fast-moving fashion trends that cycle rather than once or twice a year, cycle like once and twice every few months. Those increase the profit potential of all fashion industries, including eyewear, because eyewear is in itself a fashion statement often. Social media platforms allow eyewear companies to take advantage of groundswell and current trends. Later, we'll be talking about a company that efficiently uses social media to market and to reach their target demographic. An aging population translates to increased demand for prescription eyewear. So as people get older, the muscles in their eyes fail eventually. This is like kind of inevitable, and it leads to a pretty increased demand for prescription eyewear to correct that when a country's population is getting older, as ours is. Also, more recently, the rise of work from home due to the pandemic has caused an increased demand for stylish blue light and reading glasses for people to use while they're on their computers for an extended period of time due to having to do Zoom meetings and work remotely, and an increased shift to like Microsoft Teams and as opposed to in-person meetings. There's a couple strategic groups within the industry, as we said before, but there's a lot of diversification that can be done between these groups, and there's a lot of options for a company looking to get into the industry. So for 5 forces, threat of entry, we would say it's medium. There's a few barriers of entry, including regulations on prescribers of prescription eyewear that prevent these prescribers from basically prescribing multiple prescriptions of the same patient, from transferring prescriptions between retailers very easily. There's also regulations on the relationship between eyewear retailers and prescribers. Those are mostly to protect consumers from monopolistic pricing practices and anti-competition practices between ophthalmologists and retailers. Prime locations such as high traffic areas, areas with large elderly populations, as we said before, who are big consumers of eyewear, and areas with access to ophthalmology services, because not all areas do, and the areas that don't probably won't have a lot of demand for eyeglasses, may be inaccessible. Those areas are already taken up by a pretty mature market at this point. And the significant share of the US market controlled by EssilorLuxottica, which owns many luxury brands as well as many prescription eyewear brands. We'll talk more about them later. It's, on the other hand, it's not prohibitively expensive to open a retail eyewear storefront. The business is not very capital intensive, which means that it's a relatively low capital investment compared to how much you're paying in wages. So opening a store is more of a matter of like finding the right people than investing a lot of money. So the next force, power of buyers, we would say that's low. Products are pretty different from each other. Like, you're not going to be buying a bulk order of glasses usually as a consumer. You're going to be buying a specialized pair of glasses for yourself, whether they're prescription or they're style that you want. They come in many different styles. There are switching costs. Transferring a prescription may have associated fees. States differ in their legislation on this. And buyers are generally, as we said before, individuals or small ophthalmology practices who sell directly to their patients. And there's really no potential to backwards integrate there. They're not going to be buying their suppliers.